Hey guys, welcome back to another Cajun toy review, and today I'm super excited. We are talking about two of my favorite things, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and the Universal Monsters. I grew up watching the Ninja Turtles. My brother was into like He-Man, G.I. Joe, which I do love and appreciate, but Turtles came out at just the right time for me. My brother really didn't care for it. It was like it was meant for me. I devoured everything Turtles I could get my hands on, toys, clothes, the video games. I tried to do it all. But I also loved the Universal Monsters as a kid. I loved all kinds of horror. I used to rent the Universal Monster movies from the library. Anytime I found one of the new sequels, like the 5 different mummies and the different Frankensteins, I would get really excited because I was going to have a pretty good weekend watching some monsters. And their movies I can still to this day put on and watch. The Universal Monsters is the steelbook of all the different ones. Not all the different ones, but a lot of them. But yeah, it's a different time. It's a time of magic. They used to, the filmmaking, the talent, the creativity, the makeup, the sets and stuff like that. It's a bygone era. And I don't know. I recommend them to anybody who's a movie fan. But today we are talking about Raphael as Frankenstein's monster, guys. This looks freaking nuts. Wasn't expecting it. Doing a toy hunt out there, looking for them Channel 6 Catwoman, looking for them bats, looking for them alley vipers, looking for the new Spider-Man wave. Not looking for this. So guess what? Look what I found. And yeah, this box, it's heavy. This is a very girthy, heavy boy in there. But look at that box art on there, guys. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Universal Monsters, Raphael. Look at that. And I usually don't even save my boxes. I'm saving this box. This box is beautiful. Raphael as Frankenstein's monster. Yes, Frankenstein's monster, not Frankenstein. So get it right. Ultimate action figure. On the side, we can see some of the other figures coming out for this Universal. Raphael as the Frankenstein's monster, Leonardo as the Hunchback, Michelangelo as the Mummy, and either Irma or April as the Bride of Frankenstein. We shall see. Now, this is not the first time that Ninja Turtles has done crossovers with Universal Monsters. They have done it actually more than once. We had different versions of the monsters that came out. And Raphael was not Frankenstein in those original waves. He was the Mummy, and Michelangelo was Frankenstein, which is interesting. I do like the switch. I think the weapons work really well this time so far for what we see. Looking at this side of the box, Raphael, Frankenstein's monster. On the back, really cool, almost like an old movie poster. It's alive. Raphael is Frankenstein's monster. He's been shell-shocked. See the terrifying turtle with the attitude. Pure terror from the sewer. Warning, the monster is on the loose. Beware of his shocking sigh. On the top, we got Raphael, Universal Monsters as Frankenstein's monster. On the bottom, UPC. I'll have this in the shots, guys, if you need it, because you might be looking for this one. But yeah, oh yeah, what am I doing? And then we open this bad boy up, and look at that shot of Raphael. Look at that. It was awesome. And then we can see Raphael himself in there. And like I said, this is a heavy figure. So yeah, not much else to say. Let's open up Frankenstein's monster. Alright, we have our Raphael as Frankenstein's monster out of the box, and this is a sick figure, guys. This thing is full of detail, so many cool little things to talk about and point out that they did on this figure that is just, man, it makes me so excited to see what's to come, what we're going to get with these Universal Monsters. They nailed it. There's so many little cool things here, guys. The details that we're going to be talking about in a second. But yeah, just look at this. And I was going to jump to the accessories and the hands and stuff like that, but I really want to put this guy on the turntable for you to really kind of see in full 360 just the detail on this Raphael as Frankenstein's monster. A little bit delay. I know the short came out. You might be like, all right, okay. Well, the short came out. I did have an issue with one of the sides, and I had to get a rush down a replacement. But the show must go on, and we've got it done. So we're going to continue with the review, and I hope you enjoy it. So let's take him off this turntable, take a look at the accessories and hands he comes with, and look at the monster. Alright, looking at the accessories that come with the Frankenstein's monster, we of course get 3 sets of hands, and these are really cool electric boats, kind of mad scientist size. And I probably will say this multiple times, guys, gals, people, be careful with these. These hands are really tight. It's a NECA. Put the hair dryer to it. Put it in some warm water. Whatever you need to do to prep your figure, guys. But these things, mixed with those really stiff, thick hands, so that is a recipe for disaster if you're not being careful with your figures. Didn't put much pressure, but it didn't take much either, and it cracked one of these sides initially. So like I said, I had to go and luckily find another one. I would have been pretty devastated, excited to do this review and not be able to finish it, but I was able to get it luckily. And yeah, so just forewarning, guys, be careful with these. It's not a giving plastic. It's very stiff. So that also means it's pretty brittle when they basically put some pressure on it. So not the soft plastic we kind of normally see with a lot of this. Is very solid, and meaning it doesn't give. But looking at the hands, we do have these kind of reaching open. This looks like ET kind of grabbing hands, very elongated fingers and stuff like that. But the detail on these guys are so sick. Look at those fingernails and just all that. You can see stitching on there across the top of the hand right there, and you know, it's different stitching on there. It is not the same on each one. Fantastic. And of course, a nice hinge on there for some range of movement on it. But just the wash on this, and those nails are sick, man. So good. Then we got these grasping hands, and these are really tight. You can kind of already see, if you kind of compare, there's not a lot of room. So, and you gotta work that thing, put that thing in some hot water, get the hair dryer on it if you want to put them on there. And you know, just once again, disclaimer for you. This thing, look, I'm pushing on that thing, and that is not moving. So put them two together and you see what happens. But yeah, again, different stitching on each hand. That nice wash on there with them fingernails, looking awesome. Look at them digits sticking out like that. And then lastly, we got these closed clobbering punching fist. These awesome. Look at the texture on that, the reptilian texture on there, the thumbnails, again with that skin. Fantastic. So yeah, that's it. That's all we got. So let's take a look at our monster. And looking at our figure, this guy, gushing over how much I love this. I think this is amazing. First thing to show you right off the bat is the size can go into these basically bolted on clips, which you can basically just clip the size in there. You can push them all the way down if you want. You do kind of fumble with the chain a little bit, but I think they look fine like that. I don't know. The chain kind of, it does move a bit, but man, the bolts are fantastic, and that just looks so good. But we're gonna leave them off a little bit just so we can show detail. And it's like, I don't even know where to start, man, but we'll start where we always start. We'll start with the head. So yeah, looking at the Raphael Frankenstein's monster, there's so much detail on this face. Look at the hair on this guy. You can see the split of the skull right here. Of course, you got those like turtle spots on there. The bolts kind of coming through, and of course incorporated into the top of the mask. The bandana is this very, very dull red, almost maroon. Got this kind of white stain wash on it. Bolts that come around the back. Of course, bolts in the hair, and a nice length on the bandana too. It does look really nice. It's soft, so you can kind of pose it if you want it kind of blowing in the wind or just hanging down. It is pegged in there, so you can kind of move it around the way you would like. But yeah, look at that, the different bolts. And then the eyes, those very, very deep recessed eyes in there. That just looks so good. So much personality in that face. And this really wrinkled line on the lip also gives it a lot of detail. I'm going to grab my little pointer thing here, my bobby. And of course, we can see all the teeth in there as well. Yeah, there you go. A little better shot of the eyes. But yeah, that looks fantastic. And of course, coming off right up the head, we got this little attachment going into the neck on this side where the bolt is, while this side is just a regular bolt by itself. And then we have the tunic, or the shirt. We have this bolt piece for the shell connected together, stitching on the neck. We have this kind of stopwatch, like gauge meter on his chest, and it's got this kind of almost like there's liquid in it or moisture where you can't read it, but just enough where you can actually see that there's a needle and some numbers in there, and that leads across to the back, where this also connects to the neck to another gauge, which is the same weathered, kind of worn, even got a crack in it in there. That is just so fantastic, guys. And it is bolted into the shell where you see the crack on there, where this is all just connected, keeping this monster alive. All right, and yeah, just the texture on the stitching on the shirt. We can see the patchwork on the corner, and of course we get a little bit of turtle here with our elbow pads going down to the hand, where we can see stitching coming down and then across the hand, which is unique for each hand, as we already seen. Looking at the other arm, we have different patches on here, some red, more patches there. Across our elbow pad, a bolt on this arm with different stitching. So much detail. Of course, buttons are painted, looks nice. We have this real metal chain, which is pretty movable, and you can kind of get it around the way you want. You can take it off if you really wanted to as well. And we can see a little bit of the shell sticking out the bottom. Turning this guy around, we can see they literally bolted a sewer manhole cover on a piece of a broken shell here. That is insane. This big old clip right here is actually bolted into his shell as well, where the chain kind of feeds through, and there's additional bolts here. The shell is all cracked around where this is in his back, and that is just nuts, where you can actually see as they basically bolted it, they cracked the area around it. That is just so cool. And you can actually see, if you look at it from an angle, where the shell is broken here and the manhole was bolted in there to fix it, literally making this a monster of pieces, like the Frankenstein monster of lore. The legs, not much going on here. We do have stitching on the legs, and of course big old oversized knee pads, which look great, but nothing else going on. No attached pieces or anything mechanical. Pretty much like the real Frankenstein. Yeah, he's real. The real Frankenstein monster, kind of, business on top. We're chilling on the bottom. But we get some action when we get to the big old feet. We got some bolts on these feet, which is kind of neat, a little bit different. And of course, turtle feet with the two toes in these big old giant clomping boots with peg holes on the bottom, of course. But yeah, look at that guy, man. This is an awesome figure. I cannot wait to get all these guys lined up together. I think this is one of my biggest surprises so far of 2022. It's going to be a great year if we're getting figures like this. Hell yeah, this is awesome. So what do you guys think about this? Did you have any of the original ones? I had a couple of them. I wish I still did. And what do you think about these? Which one are you most excited about? What would be your dream compilation? Maybe a monster that hasn't been released yet, because they can do more than one wave. We can see many of these and stuff like that. So let me know in the comments what you think. So yeah, let's take a look at the articulation on our Frankenstein's monster. So Raphael, the monster, can look down about that much, up, not much at all. Got a little bit of tilt. Master, pizza. All right, and of course rotation. I dropped that around. You can not really get a rotation on the head. You're gonna have to work it around, and you probably, who wants to do that? So yeah, I'm gonna say you really can't. Now arm rotation, we're talking NECA. We can do full rotation. Be mindful of the shell. Be mindful of this cable right here. Single jointed elbows with not gonna get full range of motion with these big old elbow pads. We do have wrist rotation and flex at the wrist to an extent. Ab crunch, non-existent on this guy. It is one solid piece. You can kind of feel where it comes together here. And there's no rotation. This is more, I don't know. it's an action figure, but this is a display piece, guys. I don't know. You're not going to be getting some crazy dynamic poses on that. This is not the brand. This is not the series for that. This is for just looking at it and just appreciation, the art and the theme of what we got. Single jointed knee with not much at all. This guy moves like Frankenstein. And we have an ankle pivot with a little bit of range. Oh yeah, it can kick about that high. It can split about this much. It's about as much as you expect. And yeah, NECA, some rotation on the knee, not much. So yeah. So if I were to rate this guy, you know, I'm gonna give it a high score, but for accessories, 4 out of 5. The size are cool, the hands are nice and stuff like that. I wish something else would have came with it. Maybe a different head or something like that, or some kind of inner. It looks like the Igor, the Hunchback Leonardo, does come with a lot more stuff. So maybe something like a little bit more like that. But I do like what we got. As for paint, sculpt, fantastic, phenomenal. 5 out of 5 for that. For posability and articulation and stuff like that, that's going to be a 3 out of 5, but that's expected. I mean, it's a stiff, solid figure, but I kind of know what I'm getting, but I'm just letting you know of what it is. So let me know, guys, what you think about it. You getting this, you picking it up, interested in it, you like it, if you're just checking out the video and stuff like that. But yeah, as these come out, I'm definitely going to have to get the rest of them stuff. I did pre-order the Leonardo, so I will see as soon as the Mummy pops up. And whenever we see the last ones, and I think there's supposed to be some more. I'll check my Instagram. I'll pop them up there as they come up. So if you did like this video, please leave a like. Check out our other content. Consider subscribing. We do videos for NECA, McFarlane, Marvel, DC, everything else in between. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Just search for Cajun Toy Review and on all those different platforms. So as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Take care of yourself.